Welcome back, people. It is episode 50 of season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast. Welcome. We are here for it. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to follow on all platforms where you get your pods. We got a fair amount to get into today. We have some biblical talks. We also have some rodent talk, if you would eat them or if you wouldn't. Be sure to stay tuned for that. We have some college football breakdown in the current landscape of college football currently and what this playoff bracket / 12-team playoff truly means. We have some NBA Cup breakdown. I guess that's what they're calling it these days. We do have some MLB free agency hot stove and winter meetings to get into. Also a small White Sox therapy sessions. Then leading into a full-blown Chicago Bears therapy session and where the trajectory of this team is going in our NFL picks. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back, it's the Taxi Squad, yeah.
Vince, what's the good word?
Hello, my friend. The good word
We
is
meet again.
the story of Corinthians 32:11, and I'm going to read that in detail right now. Just kidding. This is a sports podcast, not a Christ podcast. I'm doing great, dude.
Well, you better get it right, Vince, because it's about to be Christ's birthday in T-minus 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's not, though, right? Isn't that the whole thing? It's like it actually is in Jesus' birthday.
I thought that, well, no, that is his birthday.
No, but
That's
it's
why
like
we
not.
celebrate Christmas.
Like they say that it is, but it's not. Like, what's Jesus' real birthday?
Christmas.
I don't think so,
Or-
dude.
No? When do you think Jesus was born? Like sometime in like July or something?
No, like supposedly like historians went back in time and it's actually sometime in like March or something fake, you know?
So are you saying that Christmas is nothing but a government operation to create more demand for big box stores in slow months like November and December and January in order to create new opportunity for large brands and manufacturers around the time of year?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Sick, bro. Sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
he's
like,
got the Vipers.
Let's put
He's
on
got
these
the pit
conspiracy
Vipers.
Let's put on these conspiracy vipers and let's talk about how big box stores are ruining America one purchase at a time. We got to go into debt for this shit, Mike. I say ixnay that. I say bet more, and that's how you make money.
Christmas is nothing but a plant by the government in order to create more money for corporate America.
And I'm glad that you said that because we're changing our podcast. We're no longer a sports podcast. We're talking about America and what makes this
Putting the
country
fluoride
beautiful.
in the water, making the frogs gay.
All the this is an Alex Jones appreciation podcast. JK,
Yes.
baby.
Well,
We were just talking about this before the podcast started, but I am getting on my doctor visits that I have put off for the last
good.
umpteen months. So I'm going to the dentist tomorrow. So as you guys are listening to this, I'm probably getting drilled into. I'm probably going to get yelled at, going to the optometrist, getting some contacts. So that's where I am. It's adult Vince time, buddy.
Getting drilled into.
Yeah.
Pause.
Hey, don't read into that. Don't read into that.
He means his teeth.
Yes.
His teeth need the cleaned, and you got to go for a yearly checkup because they tell you, do you have cavity? Do you not have cavity? Could have cavity. Goodbye.
Biannual checkup.
Biannual.
Really what you should be
Just
doing.
like what you need to do for your car, Vince. You know, that's how you got to do those things.
Yeah, but I do that at my dad's house.
Yeah, because your dad's a guy like that, but not many
Yeah.
people have a guy like that, you know, because
True.
you, in theory, have a guy.
Oh, I got a guy.
He's got a guy.
I got a guy. Should we just fucking hop right into it, dude? I'm feeling juiced right now. I'm ready to chat.
I'm jazzy. I'm chatty today. What's
We're
going on,
on-
man?
We have NBA to talk about today. We have MLB
Oh.
to talk about today.
Oh.
I know you're jacked about NBA, but you
Oh, boy.
brought us a whole bag of wealth when it comes to Strange Unusuals today, which I will edit into this podcast right after we talk about it. But why don't you just go ahead and tell us, dude?
So, Vince, there are some portions of the world that eat some interesting things, right?
Facts.
You go to certain parts of Far East Asia. I don't know why I went country, but here I am.
If you go into Asia real quick.
You go into Asia, buddy, you will find that they eat crickets and bugs and stuff. Yep. And now you could also look at potentially, like the Deep South where they might eat gator. Or in this case, they eat a raccoon.
Oh,
so
man.
Most recently, on the St. Brown Brother podcast, they had Xavier Legette, who's famously known that can barely speak the English language. Similar,
he speaks it in
Devin
some
Hester's
way.
Yeah, similar to like a modern day Devin Hester with a Southern accent, because you can barely understand a fucking word this guy's saying. But he basically stated that for his Thanksgiving dinner, him and his family, they indulge in a delicacy known as rakin, aka raccoon.
Yeah, I reckon.
So they literally hunt them, kill them, skin them, and then, in fact, butcher them to cook them. Vince, your thoughts? Would you try it?
Okay, so first off.
Would you?
First off, here's the video.
What's something in the food industry that you have a weird opinion on?
Well, y'all probably seen that video when I tell them folks I eat raccoon.
You what?
I eat raccoon.
I didn't see that.
I said, no, what do you mean raccoon? Like the raccoon?
Like a raccoon that you see in the trash can.
Where do you even eat that at? Where do you even get that?
I hunt it, I kill it, I skin them, cook them, eat them, all that.
So when's the last time you had a raccoon?
Thanksgiving.
So you went and got the Thanksgiving, you killed the raccoon, or you had you found
my cousins, all my people them hunting all that. So my cousins them they killed it.
Now, no, I would not.
You wouldn't
eat
morbid
raccoon.
Curiosity. You wouldn't have
he's
like
in there.
nibble.
He's like, no, I don't think so. Because he's like, the ones you get from the trash. And I'm like, yo, maybe no. Dude, it would be gross. It's eating trash and then you eat it.
Come on.
Morbid curiosity. If I'm in a collection of people where everybody's eating it and they're like, eat it. And I'd be like, no.
You're like,
and they'd be like, come on, eat it. And I'd be like, no. And they'd be like, come on, try it. I'd be like, all right, fine. And then I'll eat it and I'll hate it. I guarantee it. Because the psychology behind it is I will not be going into it with an open mind. I will be going into it with a icky, gross. I don't want to do this. And then I'm going to eat it and then be like, icky, gross. I don't want to do this. Mind you, Xavier Legette's from like the middle of nowhere, South Carolina. He's from Mullins. And Mullins is close to Marion and Fair Bluff, which is like hours from Myrtle Beach, if I'm not mistaken. So really it is it's an hour away from Myrtle Beach. It's in the middle of nowhere. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, pun intended. See what I did there? But I'm good on the raccoon. Would you eat it? You're acting like you'd be like, yummy. Like, give me one of them steaks.
All right. For example, have you ever tried like snake or alligator?
I've had alligator.
Have you ever? Okay. So, hypothetically, it's got to taste like chicken. Because all these off-brand things taste like chicken. Right?
That's an interesting way to deduce it, yeah.
Unless, like, for example, have you ever eaten duck?
Yeah, I hate it.
Duck is fucking delicious, okay? So we can't talk anymore.
A lot of people agree, but I don't like duck. I also don't care for lamb.
You've never had Peking duck?
Yes, dude. One of my best friends is a Chinese man. He brought me on a tour. He's like, try this duck. I'm like, okay. And everybody's like, yum. And I'm like, yummy. Like,
China tour, not for Vince. Okay.
Something about duck doesn't do it for me. I like venison. I like the gaminess of venison.
See, I've never eaten a deer. I've never eaten a deer. Never eaten deer.
You're just one of them city folk is your problem.
You're just one of them city folk who's never tried a buck, buddy.
Me, people that live out in the country, just like I do, I eat venison. If I'm out there, I eat a buck, shoot a buck, skin a buck.
Yeah. Going
Process
to
a
sit in a
buck.
field with another animal's piss along my boot trail is not something that I find to be a good time.
Hey, bud, someone's got to do it, okay? Someone's
but
got
it's
to
not like
do
you're
it.
butchering fucking Bambi for the whole family to eat or go somewhere to be like, I can't wait to have deer steak this afternoon. No.
Oh, like
Nobody
venison
does
jerky.
that.
Venison jerky's good. If you get the bacon wrapped, like little
Dude.
venison fillets, those are good.
Jerky? Okay, let's bring this to the
Wait, are you trying to
topic of-
argue? Are you trying to argue that raccoon is more feasible than venison?
No,
you also
I'm not.
didn't answer
No,
the question.
I'm
You
just
didn't
saying
answer
on the whole,
initial question,
jerky-
Michael.
Jerky blows, okay? You could make any sort of jerky taste good.
What?
You could. There's
Blows is-
alligator jerky. It's just dried fucking meat. If I want
Blows
dried
is
meat, I'll eat
crazy.
gabagool.
It
But to the
doesn't
point,
it doesn't blow. It's a different
if
thing
I want dried meat,
altogether.
gabagool, so percent.
It's a
That's it.
macro-friendly snack on a road trip is what jerky is.
Okay, yeah. Tell me all about this fucking dietitian, Vince. But time out.
It's
So
macro-friendly.
what-
It's protein.
what
It's protein high. It's carb low, dude. Come on.
It's also packed with sodium. But with
Depends on
that,
what you got.
with that, I'm gonna
Electrolytes.
say I try it, Vince. I would give it a shot. You got to try something once, right? So
I guess.
when
yeah.
else are you gonna try rakin? What if it's a beefy fucking rakin that had some good fat on him, and he's delicious?
Yeah, because he's
what if
licking
he is
he's
the-
like all the sugar off your honey bun wrappers, buddy. That's what's going
What
on
if-
down there.
What if he is the prime steak of raccoon? And like what part of him do you eat? Do you eat a thigh? Do you eat a paw? Like
Yeah,
where do
what's
you start?
All
Where do you
right,
start?
I'm gonna
Is there a leg?
get some weird FBI's on me, but what is the beefiest part of a raccoon? Why can't raccoons eat grapes but not raisins? That's not what I asked. Okay,
You're an
What-
asshole if you have a pet raccoon, by the way.
I
Certified,
do.
bona fide asshole.
I also don't get when people are like, they're so cute. No, they're not, dude. No, they're
They're
not.
vicious little fuckers.
Yeah, they're nasty little creatures. The hind quarters. So you're right. You're right about on there. You eat the booty, you eat the thigh. Dense, slow and low cooking methods. They dry out really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. Internal temp, the same as poultry.
Huh. See? There you
Yeah.
go.
What do you
But to your point, I don't like lamb either. I think lamb's kind of gross. Like people
I agree.
who no offense to the Greeks who listen to the pod. Love your culture. Spina Cookie's
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
I'm more Greek than Italian, unfortunately for
but
me.
real life,
but
you are
it is.
Italian. How you're raised, Irish, Italian. Boom.
How
There
you
go.
doing? Yes.
So your question, though, Vince, I'm sorry.
It was, would you eat it? And your answer is
Yes, 100%. I would try it once. Like, it's the question, would you try blowfish? Even though blowfish, if not properly butchered, could kill you.
Depends
Would
on
you
who's
do
making
that?
it.
All right, Hattori Hanzo type chef deal.
Yes.
Right, you're in
100%.
Japan.
Yeah.
He's doing the thing. And he's like, he puts it to blowfish.
Yeah.
And then
Wait, say that
you're
again?
like, okay. Blowfish.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanna make sure.
He puts it down and he's like,
Yeah.
all right, and that's what you do. And then
uh-huh.
see, I wonder if that's what Young Wei Koo had for Thanksgiving.
Jerry Sandusky's favorite kicker. Probably not. He probably just ate normal Thanksgiving food. So I will make that joke until the end of this podcast, by the way. He can retire and I'll still be making that
Never
joke.
ends, Vince. The road goes on forever and the party.
The
never
old
ends.
way's fine, but the young way's cool, is what I say.
Can we talk about Jerry Sandusky for 3 seconds?
Oh, please. One of my favorite
Okay.
topics. Yeah.
So, still strange and unusual. He had a press conference and they asked him if he was attracted to minors. And you can literally go pull this video and watch it.
Not
He
like people that are in the mines, but children.
Yes, not like children, because he's famously known for diddling kids.
Yes.
And he basically went back and forth on the topic at the press conference. He was like, not really.
Brother.
Okay, right there, they should have known he was guilty from
Yeah.
the fact of that statement. Any other answer other than No. Should have just been enough. But yeah. Red
He
flag.
had a literal foundation around kids with no parents. Like, that's how he got the kids there. It was like, hey, we're going to bring kids that don't have their parents anymore to Penn State to show them the facility. And then that's how that happened. So, yeah, TMI for some of you. I get that. Yeah, he was. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here. All right.
Here we go.
Jerry Sandusky, guilty. I'm just going to say it. I think he did it.
I think it's already been proven that he did it.
I just, I don't want to, I don't want to spread it.
He's
It's
in
false
prison
news,
because
but,
he did it, Vince.
I think he did it, dude. Yeah.
He's very guilty.
Jerry
He's about as
Sandusky,
guilty as Diddy and Jay-Z are at this stage. of the
Jay-Z,
game.
hey, man. We'll see about that. That's some
Go
damn-
back and listen to the album Blueprint 1 with a song in particular by the name of Girls. And
Yeah.
he's like describing all the
Girls.
Yeah, you'll put your number on
What
this
an
paper because I
album.
would love to date you. Holla at you when I come off tour. He's like, I got this young chick. She don't know how to act. Always talking out her mouth, making her fingers snap. Right?
Yeah.
She's like, listen, Jigga man, I don't care if yeah. There's some incriminating things in that song in particular that kind of make you go,
This is one of those I hope not, because Jay-Z is like top 3 for me. That album is
dude.
That album's
Yeah.
top 2 rap albums of all time for me.
Hove is Hova. I mean, he is arguably one of the greatest lyricists of all time. If we're talking
to
about
the
rap.
Izzo. Yeah. Don't want that. See, Diddy, I'm like, whatever, dude. He's always been a weirdo. Jay-Z, I'm like, damn it.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Damn it. Yeah. Larry Nassar versus Jerry Sandusky. Who wins in a brawl?
Larry Nassar.
Really? Just the gymnast aspect?
Yeah, because you need a lot of upper body strength.
Okay.
Right.
I think we should fight to the death all of these serial pedophiles. They're all disgusting and fuck them all. Sorry
The
for that.
Pope. Throw the Pope in there. What are you thinking?
Well, okay. Is the Pope a serial molester or is he covering up? Is he the Paterno or is he the Sandusky?
Yeah, more so along the lines of the Paterno, but still
Yeah.
just as terrible.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Nether strange and unusual
He just gave
topic.
the guy a gun. Yeah.
Another strange and unusual topic. So this year in Italy is the Jubilee year. And in the Jubilee year, this is like the year of it's like a biblical year, right?
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
They're actually the week of Christmas going to give you the ability to live stream St. Peter's tomb in the Vatican. You want to know what's even more fucked up about St. Peter's tomb and what's underneath St. Peter's tomb?
Yes.
Lucifer's tomb.
Like the devil.
Like devil. Yeah.
Was the devil
you
a
don't
person? Are you talking about Judith?
Lucifer is a fallen angel. Then
Yeah.
CCD. Think CCD. Fallen
Why was
angel.
he buried at the Vatican?
There's a lot of fucked up
there's-
shit at the Vatican.
There's
a lot of
nothing
fucked
in
up
there.
shit at the Vatican.
There's nothing in there.
How do you know?
Why would he be dude? All of the biblical stuff happened in Egypt.
Dude, the Vatican is holy ground. I don't know what more to say.
Because they said
shipped these people there.
so, not because anything happened there.
Rome. It all dates back to Rome.
No, it doesn't. It dates back before Rome.
I get it, but I'm just saying
All right.
it's quite interesting.
Nothing's in there.
You should do your homework on this. It's quite fascinating, really. I don't know. It's more
it is-
unusual than it is
it
strange.
is
I mean, it's very
fascinating,
odd.
But I think
Yeah, that they're
Lucifer's
going to
probably
live stream
buried.
because they have to like break through this wall, just St. Peter's wall. But on the other side of that wall is Lucifer's tomb.
They're gonna break through it on Jubilee.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that a YouTube channel?
No, it's technically a biblical year, but
Okay.
yes. So there you go.
Is
You
it
get some fun-
JEW?
It's J-U-B.
Oh, I thought it was like the
ILEE.
Jewish Beli. All right. Well, the more you know.
Jerry Reinsdorf approved. All right, let's talk about some college football.
Tend the knee. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Vince,
Billy Belichick.
Oh, yeah, let's bury that.
Start that first.
So, thoughts, Vince? Bill Belichick is going to be a college coach now. What do you think?
Bill Belichick is, okay, first off, basketball schools becoming football schools is quite a storyline this year.
It's interesting.
Duke's got what, 9 wins?
Yeah.
Something like that. IU is in the college football playoff. Now North Carolina gets Bill Belichick as their coach. Like, come up on basketball schools becoming football schools. Listen, Mac Brown, too old to coach at UNC anymore. They have to get rid of him and they have to make a contingency plan. Go with Bill Belichick because he's 1 year younger than him. That's like going from a 30-year-old to a 29-year-old with me. Like, literally, they went back 1 year, and the expectations from Bill Belichick the expectations he put towards the school are wild. Did you read all the stuff that he requires?
No, okay. This is fun. I love it. What is he going to require?
He will not be recruiting.
What?
He's no recruits. He's going full, hey, my son's coming in here and he's helping me because he's at Washington right now. He will be moving to North Carolina, probably already is. Steve, assistant head coach. Belichick.
The guy who always sticks his tongue out and
which probably a good coach. Nepotism in football, normal. He will be taking over after Bill leaves. So I don't think Bill's going to be there for a long time. He says that UNC is going to become an NFL factory, which I like as well. I did some further digging. You know who went to North Carolina and Bill Belichick won a Super Bowl with?
Not Mitch Trubisky.
No. Nope. Definitely not. Think about
Slater.
it. No, his first Super Bowl.
His first Super Bowl. With the Giants?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
LT, baby.
I was about to say, is it Lawrence Taylor? It's Lawrence Taylor.
North Carolina, Chapel Hill, LT. So
no shit.
Let's go full circle right now. Fun facts with Vince. I bring them. I bring them every week.
Fun facts with Vince.
Bill Belichick, North Carolina. I like it. Bill Belichick, not made for the college game. Nothing about what he's done is made for the college game, except for the fact that he coaches. So the fact that he's not going out there and doing all the recruiting makes sense, because imagine you're like a 17, 16-year-old guy and Bill Belichick comes in. He's like, your mom's too old for me. If you just come here and you just make the right choices, we're going to get you to the NFL, son. We're going to get you to the NFL, son. What's going to happen?
Okay, so let's talk about the girlfriend. The girlfriend's 25 years old.
So young.
Some could say she either sucked new life out of him or put it back in him. We don't know.
Could be.
In what situation this
she
is.
Spit it back in him.
Viagra is involved. Now, she has more than enough daddy issues, potential grandfather issues. Now, anywho, so you got that. And allegedly she followed all the different UNC deals on the Instagrams and all that. So she's going to be social media. Cool.
Yeah.
Now, he's not going to handle any recruiting. Any other way to put this other than he recruits for himself. It's like, hey, son, do you want to go play for the greatest coach in sports history for football?
Right.
Yeah, I do, actually. Okay, sign this paper. We'll get you committed.
I feel like it's almost like, do you want to play in the NFL? It's like, yeah, well then, play for Bill Belichick.
Play at the next level, son. You go play for UNC. And I feel like that's a cool methodology that they're taking. And to the point, nepotism 2.0, bringing his son in to take over, essentially. You go 4 to 5 years, and then Steve Belichick takes over, kind of walking in his own father's footsteps. So if you do your homework on Bill Belichick, his father actually was the head coach at Navy for almost 20 plus years. And that's where him and Nick Saban met each other and became fast friends, because they were assistant coaches under Bill Belichick's father at Navy. So the Naval Academy is in the blood there. So he's kind of doing the same thing, if so facto, in a roundabout way, to get Steven involved, aka his kid. So this is quite interesting. Vince has got fun facts. So does Mike.
Hey,
And
ready for another fun fact?
yeah.
Bill Belichick goes in. He writes a brand new recruiting and staffing, like, I'm not going to call it a manifesto, but like a document, essentially.
Okay.
400 pages.
Whoa.
400-page document calling for new coaching and a recruitment staff. Also demanding his son as the coach after he leaves. $12 million a year, I think, is what he's getting.
Jesus.
Like, I don't know what
His
the North
birthday.
Carolina NIL bucket's looking like. It's probably 60-40, 70-30 basketball. We're about to see 50-50 pretty quick going right now.
Yeah, it's about to become a basketball school. Or
It's about to become a football school.
It's a football school.
It is a
And
basketball school.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're going to probably compete for the ACC, not next year, but in years to come.
Yeah.
Bill will probably do 2 years here and hang it up.
Probably.
I just think he wants to probably win a conference title. That's probably on his list. I don't think he'll ever win a national championship there. No shit.
Not at UNC. But also, I don't know if you saw this through the grapevine. The number one recruit for basketball went to Brigham Young like 2 days ago. So,
Young. BYU?
yep. So NIL is changing the
Wow.
landscape everywhere because that kid's not Mormon at all. So maybe
Well,
they're
the Mormons
like, hey,
come together to recruit for their teams because
Yeah, they're like
they don't
Greece.
drink or anything. Yeah. Greece?
we come together like
Oh, I thought you were about to say is the world.
No. GREASE, sir.
No, I
yeah.
know, but Greece is the world, Vince. And also
Greece
the word.
is the word. Oh, I thought you meant
Have you heard?
GREECE.
Oh, no. Have you heard? It's the word.
Greece is
Like
the
bird.
word.
Bird.
Bird is the word. Family Guy reference.
Also a great song. But I digress. I do believe that Belichick will continue his lore of being a hell of a head coach. Now, over under 10 wins next year.
Next year, under.
Under.
1 year, I guess transfer portal.
You're a hot
Under.
shot recruit. Miller Moss might be like, I'm going to go play for Bill.
Yeah, that's great.
Miller Moss.
He was so good this year. That's good.
He was good for like the first 4 games.
Yeah. He's like Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Downfall of Cliff, I tell you.
Yeah. Hey,
Well,
leave it to
it's-
you. Leave it to you to just sneak in a USC reference at the end of that.
I'm just going over the list, Vince.
I
Maybe
know, I
Kyle
get it.
McCord. It all depends on how much money is involved. Do
How
we
much are we
believe that
really-
this is hurting the brand of the NCAA? That how many of these guys, if they just don't get what they want after year one, they're jumping. They don't stick anything. out
NCAA hurt themselves. No one else is hurting them outside of that. They've been a bullshit organization since the beginning of time.
Yeah, disband the
So,
NCAA. I mean,
if it is good, and if it's not, hurt them more, please, for the love of God, for many reasons, and kind of for the reason that we're about to talk about right now. That's how I feel.
well, Vince, to the point, the playoff brackets have spoken,
Yep.
and it's very fucking goofy.
The first thing that everybody says is, how do we make this better? Which is bad.
It's not good. It's not good, to say the very least. How the fuck anybody can look at Boise and then look at ASU and go, yeah, those are the 3 and 4 ranked teams.
It's
Huh?
okay. So for
Huh?
people that didn't
What?
see this, the College Football Playoff Commission, is that their name?
Committee.
Committee.
They're
Okay.
a committee.
They
like the committee at your local fucking pool.
they put exactly. It's the what do you call it?
It's like an HOA committee, a bunch
It's
of
an
fucking
HOA.
people who have too much goddamn time on their hands,
Yeah.
and they overthink shit like this because Barbara, who lives up the fucking street, watched 2 football games this year.
Hates that you
and
have
lives
berry
in
bushes
Boise,
in your
Idaho.
front yard. She hates that you have berry bushes in your front yard and you got to cut them down.
Yeah, how dare you park your car outside like that? Shut
you
the
don't
fuck
live
up,
here.
Barbara.
You don't live here. It's like, yeah.
Shut up, Streisand. Get back in your
No,
fucking
hey,
house.
No Streisand disrespect on this goddamn
Don't you
podcast.
dare.
Don't
Richard
you
will
dare.
be mad.
Don't do that. I love Streisand. I don't like how they did it. You called me. You were more heated than I was at the beginning of it. I've now
Well,
reached.
it still doesn't make
No.
sense.
I agree, but I've now reached your level after hearing some takes about it and putting my thinking cap on. It's bullshit. So people that
Dumb.
don't know, let's give a background so people know what we're talking about. So 4 seeds get a bye. Those are conference winners. Those are like seemingly the best teams that each won a conference. It's bullshit based on strength of schedule. They don't care about that. So Oregon gets a bye, obviously. Georgia gets a bye, obviously. The other 2 teams are the issue. Arizona State gets a bye and Boise gets a bye. Clemson wins the ACC and loses?
Clemson won the ACC.
But, yeah, excuse me.
conference against SMU.
SMU, but it was
they
a
won.
It was a miracle play at the end, field goal, blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
Clemson is better than Boise State. Clemson's better than Arizona State.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Yeah,
this is like hot teams at the end of the year in college basketball where like Arizona State's the hottest team right now.
They're the
probably.
hottest team right now, but Scadaboo's just been leading the charge. In the moment they play a defense like Texas,
Right.
good luck.
That's
Good luck, Mr.
So
Scadaboo.
they
You might
get
be a
to
Heisman
avoid.
contender against, fucking Brigham Young, but you're
Yeah.
not a Heisman contender against Texas or Georgia. No offense.
Right. So now the biggest problem is that the way that the seeding works, Boise State, who's sitting at 3 right now, gets fed into an SMU versus Penn State. So best case scenario for Boise, they play SMU. Worst case scenario for Boise, they play Penn State. Oregon, on the other hand, best team all year, undefeated, been sitting in the spot literally since like halfway through the season. They've been number 1 and no one's been able to dethrone them. Are either going to play Ohio State or Tennessee, that have both been ranked top 10 for 5 weeks, something like that. Their matchup should be against SMU or Penn State. Why are they playing against those teams?
I don't necessarily understand the thought process behind this, and the conference championship winners shouldn't get as much validity as they're receiving.
No.
Because I hate to say it, it's not necessarily that. And then when you look at teams like a Bama, which a lot of people could, be happy of the fact that they're not. Time out. Let me finish.
I know.
A lot of people are happy of the fact that they're not in the playoff. But no offense, I think Alabama plays Penn State far closer than SMU will.
For sure.
Time will tell about that. Just
Is
saying.
that the
I could also
okay, so
state the same thing about you look at maybe IU. I'm not saying IU doesn't deserve their flowers. They do. They're a very good football team. But do you think Bama's going to be a better competition to play Notre Dame in South Bend? I think so.
maybe
There's a lot of, I would say, lending to. They want the in-state rivalry game. They want to play to this methodology.
Hoosier
of
Nation. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
They
pushback
want
I'll
the
give
tribalism.
The only pushback I'll give to you is that Bama lost 2 games pretty brutally, and those should count against them a little bit.
Vandy, I get it.
They shouldn't have lost to Vandy. They shouldn't.
Tennessee.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have lost to Ole Miss. They shouldn't have. Like, if you want to get there, you can't do those. But my biggest gripe is less so the teams that made it and more so the seeding base. I'll fight for my boys, obviously. We don't have a conference, so they shouldn't be having a bye if they're going to use that as the rules. Why Notre Dame is 7th, I don't really know. You can make an argument against NIU.
Well,
I get that, but that was week 3. But besides that, they've been flawless the rest of the year.
What I don't understand is how doesn't Notre Dame be a little bit higher up in the ranking here? How are they?
Why
not
Why did they get Georgia second round? It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
They should be
Georgia
getting-
does, in my opinion, Georgia deserves to be 2. I mean, because
I
they
agree,
are
but
2.
Georgia doesn't deserve Notre Dame second round. Georgia deserves SMU second round, or
Potentially.
number 12 Clemson second round.
I think this is a little ass backwards, and I think we've come to the conclusion that the conference championship winners should not receive this amount of validity.
And if
Now,
they
there's
do,
a
it
couple-
should be because their schedule is also difficult. They're not bringing strength schedule at all, which is going to incentivize teams to put the easiest schedule together and win their conference championship, and then boom, they're going to be there. So then we'll have these teams now. Okay, so you sent me this and I like it. FanDuel made a graphic. If the BCS still existed, here's how the playoff would look. So top 4 teams are the top 4 teams. So the bye goes to Oregon, Texas, Georgia, Notre Dame. So you're talking 1 Big Ten school, 2 SEC, and then Notre Dame, who's played well this year. And leaving the rest of the top 12 down a line in the first, in the first round. Alabama makes it. Makes sense. Arizona State, been hot. Not hot all year, but they did win their conference, so they should make it. So then you have IU versus Boise moving into that Oregon matchup. So Oregon gets probably the easiest game. That's the idea. And then moving down. It makes the most sense, and I've never fought for BCS rankings because sometimes it doesn't make any sense. But in this case, it kind of does because they're also looking at like who's the best team.
Well, it would take the guessing and the voting bullshit out of it. It would be a one-time, here you have it. Here's the rankings. Okay, here's how they all stack up 1 through 12.
Isn't it coaches, AP, and then 4 different computer evaluations of who's the best fucking team? Why don't we do that?
Right. But Mike Leach, RIP to the Pirate, said very eloquently that college football is the only sport in the country that has a committee. We don't see a committee in college basketball. We don't see a committee in college baseball. We don't see a committee in any other college sport, nor professional sport. So why in the fuck who decided this was a good idea? Chances are it was all the boosters came together and were like, we need to figure out.
It's the
right. It's almost like secret society bullshit. It's like, how much money do you give to your local program, and then you probably get elected to be a, in quote, committee member.
Yeah, that's why A&M's on this list.
So there's a lot of bottom toothing going around, and that's why I say bottom toothing. Like,
yeah, no, exactly.
A lot of guys like James Bottom Tooth with their sifter of whiskey, sitting there, or cognac. You'd be like, yes, SMU deserves to be in, and here's why.
Deep in a spit jug, like just doing their job.
Boise State at number 3. They won the MAC. Shut up, dude. I'm sorry. That
Mountain West.
That, once again, why the conference
Mountain
championship
West, right?
mean very little. Mountain West, my bad. Whack.
And I heard this argument too.
Whack.
Why wouldn't Alabama just become an Mountain West team? They'll make the playoff every year.
Here's my issue. Boise State, if they're going to play the winner of put the graphic up again.
Okay.
They're going to play the winner of, Texas and Clemson, or no, my bad. It's going to be, they play the winner of Penn State,
SMU and Penn. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Penn State plays Boise State. They're going to mop up the floor with them.
I don't know.
The only game you could hypothetically
that's Buddy Franklin in a big game, and that doesn't work out too well for him. So.
Okay. Considering Boise State only won their conference championship by 2 touchdowns against UNLV tells me exactly what I need to know.
Who was good at the beginning of the year?
Okay. But what I'm saying is when the best competition you play all season's Oregon, and granted you played them in week 2 or 3, and you got in a drag race with them due to Ashton Jennings' greatness, which I'm not denying his greatness. He's truly
gone down a bit.
What he does.
Gone down a bit.
Well, okay. Everybody slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
I do believe that Boise State, if they play Penn State, good luck.
I agree.
Good luck. For Penn State, if I'm looking at my calendar, I'm like, all right, I got to get SMU at home.
Yeah.
Fine. And then I go play Boise State at neutral site. Done. Where do I sign up?
100%.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Now, if I'm Notre Dame, I'm a little worried.
What the fuck, man?
I'm hoping Carson Beck doesn't come back because
so Carson Beck, UCL, currently no timetable. I don't know how he plays on a UCL. Don't know how that happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
So did it tear? Did he tear the UCL?
So there's not like giving enough information right now. My assumption is he did, based on the fact that they're not giving anybody information now. If it's good news, they say it right away.
I didn't understand about that play where he got injured.
What's that?
So in prior week against Georgia Tech rivalry weekend that went into 8 overtimes that we discussed at nauseum last week.
That rocked. It
was amazing.
That was football pornography.
Such wonderful football theater. Just gorgeous. Just what you love the game for. what
Yeah.
you love college football for.
Yep.
He got injured at a portion of that game and took a very similar hit that he took on Saturday against Texas that hurt him pretty bad. And he came up holding his elbow on his throwing arm. And that was a concerning, but he shrugged it off and finished the game. So if you look at that play, it was quite unnecessary. They were in field goal range, about 4 yards out of range for their kicker, and decided to just chuck it deep into the end zone and see what happens as opposed to just kneeing on it. And Carson Beck took the snap, rolled out to his left. Texas was breathing down his throat and lit him up on a throw that barely happened and completely, absolutely destroyed his UCL.
Yep.
And he didn't come back in the game if it was for just that one play to finish off a drive.
Yeah. And like, I've been relatively anti-Georgia this year, just like I've been anti-Ohio State, because I hate the good teams that are always good. I'm trying to get the
What have I been
teams.
saying, man?
And
If
you've
you
been
listen
saying
to this podcast all college football season, I've been saying Georgia's still Georgia.
Yeah,
They haven't
I
been
know.
anything else other than Georgia.
Yeah, I know. They're like probably the second or third best team in the country. I agree.
Hence the ranking.
Not first.
Second.
Mike. You've
So-
been saying that they're also the best team in the country.
Let's
all year,
talk
too.
about Oregon. Vince,
Yeah.
I watched all of the Big Ten championship because I'm
Yep.
like, okay, let's watch this. Penn State put on a wonderful performance.
Yeah,
Okay. I give Drew Aller a lot of credit.
big boy,
Late young quarterback.
Tendony.
I think he's very talented. I will also give Dylan Gabriel a lot of credit
Yes.
because
No way.
the system fits what he does beautifully.
There you go.
And he's a game manager. He's very like small version and left-handed version of Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
And when he's in the right system, it makes sense. How fast Oregon is compared to any other team in the country
Bro.
is truly impressive. And I figured out, I'm like, okay, they're just faster than everybody else, especially with their wide receiver talent.
Drag racers. And D too, though. Their line is faster
Well-
than the offense. It's really
Their
wild.
line's very athletic. You're right. I don't disagree with that topic.
They got 4
But what
Kayvon Thibodeau's playing on the line right now.
Avon Thibodeau, absolute, just athletic
Monster.
freak. But
Yeah.
what I will say, this game, Penn State hung around as long as they possibly could. But this is that time of year where you look at it and are you capable of getting in a late dogfight of going tit for tat on scoring
Oregon?
as an offensive powerhouse? Just any team in the college football
Yeah.
playoff arena at this stage of the game.
Right.
Are you geared for that? If you look around this setting of what we're headed for in the college football playoff, the one team I look at and I go, I don't know if anybody's going to be capable to hang with them into the second half in
Is
that
the
thought
Bulls.
process of just drag race, score. Who's going to have the ball last? And are you going to be able to compete with that?
Georgia.
I don't know if any team could do it. Well,
Yeah.
Georgia, but with Carson Beck. And that's scary.
Yeah.
Because if Georgia doesn't have Carson Beck and they have to resort to, sophomore boy who looks
Yeah.
like a very young green version of
Stetson Bennett.
kid who was that Stetson Bennett. It
Yeah.
looks like Stetson Bennett. Gunnar Stockton is like the most American name.
Wild.
Gunnar. That's like what you name
I'm
a dog.
Gunner. Yeah, 100%.
I'm Gunner. All right, buddy. Well, Gunnar Stockton, Georgia high school player of the year, like 2 years running, Georgia product. So there's
Trevor
a lot
Lawrence.
of like tribalism there. Now, I will say Stockton really energized them late, threw a terrible interception, got his fucking bell rung.
Yeah, throw a
I'm-
sophomore in there, though. I'm cool with it. I'll take it.
For Oregon, yeah. For Notre Dame,
But
you
they-
better be praying that you get Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah. No, I
Because
know.
a young-
I know. I know, dude.
a young quarterback against Marcus Freeman who gets 2 weeks to prepare
That defense.
for
Yeah.
I'm
Yes, I agree. Oregon's played close games twice against the top of the Big Ten. They've won both of them. No one's beat Oregon. Oregon's blown out a lot of teams. Oregon's played a couple close games too. I would like to see Dan Lanning, kind of a dog. hard to argue against them. In my head, it's been like that all year for me. I understand where your gripes are. I understand where like the issue may reside. Ohio State's had their issues, blah, blah, blah. I got to see him lose. I got to see him lose once.
The only team that I could say grudge match, maybe they have an opportunity to beat the best team in the country, is Ohio State beating Tennessee at home.
Yeah.
At the shoe, redeeming themselves after a terrible Michigan loss and saying, all right, we're going to go and we're going to smoke Tennessee, which I don't think
learn
is
how to play
happen.
offense, though. They got to learn how to play offense, and they don't know how to do that.
Yeah, they forgot how to do that.
Completely.
Chip Kelly. I don't get it. I don't think Will Howard's as good as anybody thought he was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, they had a guy
I don't know what you expect from a transfer from Kansas State. No offense.
Well,
that
it depends.
Didn't do
I mean,
too
some
much.
transfers work out, some don't. It's in our.
He ain't working out. Granted, they're in the playoff by the skin of their chinny chin.
Yeah.
If Nico has a game though,
that's the thing. He's an X factor.
Secondary is fucking nasty.
Their defense is dirty.
That's what people are forgetting. Yeah. They hung around with Georgia for 4 quarters.
I've been ringing that bell all goddamn year that they have the meanest defense and their offense is electric and also anemic. They're anemic. They're either up or they're out. Like it's one or the other.
It's not the defensive line talent of, let's say, a Texas.
Sure.
Because Texas right now may have some of the best defensive line talent in the country next to Georgia. I do look at them and say,
and Oregon.
Secondary. That might be one of the best secondaries in the country.
Yeah.
And they have some day 1, day 2 guys playing on that roster as we speak.
Reminds me of a team out in South Bend, Indiana, if we're being honest.
Well, South Bend, Indiana is just so defensively coached.
Let's talk secondary.
Soundly coached. Well, sure.
Let's talk offensive, like what, first team this year, Xavier Watts?
Sure.
Monster boy.
Sure. But that's expected from Notre Dame. That's not necessarily expected from Tennessee.
Yeah.
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 So we're not comparing the two. I'm just saying, if I'm Ohio State, I'm not taking them lightly. And
no,
I don't know if it's a given that they win that game.
And the thing is I don't think they took Michigan lightly because they're not allowed to as Ohio State, and that didn't go well. So if you're Tennessee, there is a path. Look at what happened last week. Ohio State's going to adjust to that, but look at what happened last week. I'm excited for this to go. I know this bracket is bullshit. We both said that. Regardless, dude, 12-team playoff, yes. Yes, please.
I think it needs to be after year 1. You need to reconsider how you're looking at this, and I don't necessarily believe that the BCS structure would ever really need to be changed. It just needed to be expanded.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly, and I've been banging the hammer like, hey, let's change it up a bit. But this is too much change up because this is so dumb. This is such a.
It's not that we've changed it up. So what we've been begging for happened. But it happened in a very ass-backwards, confusing,
in a very NCAA way.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Where you had a good method, you could have just said, listen, we're just going to take the top 12 and we're going to rank them accordingly. Yeah. And we're going to say, all right, here's how the bracket's going to break out based off of the top 12, and everybody fuck off. And that's it. But this whole selection thing of who plays who and conference winner
put value on winning the conference. It's like not all conferences are created equal. It is clear as day. It has never been more clear that the SEC and the Big Ten are just way better than every other conference. It just is the fact.
To that point, exactly. We are headed in college football for a 2-conference system. And who's been saying this? 4 years.
Norman Nate.
We love you. Norman Nate has been saying this for years, that it's going to be 2 mega conferences. And before you know it, the ACC jokers, as he calls them, or the, Big 12
Come on,
jokers.
Miami's fun.
Miami got fucked. Because I think Miami could have competed potentially better.
I would have put them in over
than an SMU.
Bama.
Or SMU.
I know, but like, especially if we're talking like top 12 teams and Bama's going to make it.
Dabo
BCS
Sweeney
rating
came out And the booster from Clemson, who's on that committee,
Dude.
was like, well, we got to listen to what Dabo says. So.
Someone needs to dude. Ranking college coaches of most disliked guys, Ryan Day and Dabo Swinney are just back, forth, 1 and 2 in my head. Both of them drive me bonkers. I can't.
For me, number one's Brian Kelly.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but he's already in a grave in my head because LSU's not keeping.
Number one, Brian Kelly should be fired. Most likely will be fired.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is
Lincoln Riley.
No, well, I go through days with him.
Yeah, I know.
But I probably would agree with Dabo because he's just cringy at this point, and he said Deshaun Watson's like missing out on Michael Jordan. If the Michael Jordan of getting handies was the idea, then
if Michael Jordan got caught, is part of how I feel. There's no way he wasn't up to something back then. There's no way he wasn't up to something back then.
Well, gambling. That's why he played baseball, Vince. Don't forget. Yep. I'm so excited for the way this is going to shake out. But before we do any of that, we still have the intermediate potato bowl season coming up next week. So is there any game where you look at this upcoming weekend and you're like, oh boy, I can't wait to watch the Salute to the Veterans Bowl or the Boca Raton Bowl or the Cure Bowl, which the Cure will be playing live, by the way. I don't know if you've heard
that is cool. That. I didn't know that.
Yeah? You think that's real? No. No British fucking new wave band is playing against
Mike. Got it, dude. What is it, like a salute to the Cure?
Fine, Mike. I guess they're not playing Friday I'm in Love considering the game's on fucking Friday, you piece of shit. Fine.
You should.
Fuck you, Mike.
Missed opportunity, dude.
Totally missed opportunity.
Army Navy is going to be fun. Was the concept that we had earlier in the year, if they were both undefeated and went into last week and then played again this week, that would have been more fun. That didn't happen. Army Navy is going to be fun. I feel that these bowl games carry so much less weight now.
Yeah.
That I don't really care about any of them.
No, I could care less.
I'm so ready for this playoff to start. And that's
come on, you got to be excited for one.
Gasparilla Bowl on the 20th.
Okay.
Before Indiana Notre Dame.
I bet you that game would be a riot to go to because it's going to be in Tampa, and they show out in Tampa.
Yeah, and it's Florida, New Orleans, dude. Come on, Florida versus Tulane.
It's going to be a drunk fest. It's going to be an epic drunk fest.
You can miss me with South Alabama and WMU. You can miss me with Memphis, West Virginia. James Madison hasn't been good this year.
California UNLV might be a fun game on a Wednesday. And then there's like these in-between bowl games that I kind of love. Like the Boca Raton Bowl at 3:30 on a fucking Wednesday.
You know who's from Boca Raton?
No.
AJ and Big Justice, baby. Bring the boom.
Decade 0.
Boom.
And then we got Memphis, West Virginia. Country Road take you home on a Tuesday.
That's only cool because it's Miami.
I bet you that game could be fun.
I'll watch it.
How about South Alabama and Western Michigan University? Who you got in that one?
Miss me with that bullshit. You know that Kendrick Lamar song? I don't know. Probably South Alabama. South Alabama played fun twice this year, and that's the only reason why I even recollect them.
What I will say, James Madison against WKU.
Western Kentucky.
Just take the over because there's going to be a lot of scoring and no offense.
Yeah, but James Madison without Kurt is a different team.
And then what's so great, Vince, is the Cure Bowl starts at 10 a.m. on a Friday. I don't care if it's blue. I don't care if Wednesday's great. And never mind. Yeah.
So, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be blue. Thursday.
All right. Yes, exactly. It's Friday. I'm in love. Yeah. Give me Ohio because Ohio's a dog.
Yeah.
Gasparilla.
Hey, shout out to Timothy Shallow Mammal Ding Dong, dude.
Yeah. He has a creepy mustache.
Timothy Chalamet, creepy to you, hot to the youth women in the world. Not attractive to a 32-year-old man, but hot to younger ladies.
I would like to point out to our listeners that the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, because we said it was most likely going to be Notre Dame. It is not Notre Dame. They have exceeded expectations, but the team that did beat them is playing in the Potato Bowl. Northern Illinois faces off against Fresno State. Who do
Against
you got?
Derek Carr's Fresno State. I mean, we'll be able to talk about this next week, but
Just saying.
Dude, Northern Illinois has been bad the rest of the year. Give me Northern
NIU.
Illinois, I
Give me
guess. Yeah, I'll take them
NIU.
for fun.
Give
But
me an A. All right,
again,
it's been fun.
none of this shit
It's like-
matters, Mike. None of it matters.
None of it matters.
It's playoff
as long
time,
as Notre
baby.
Dame gets there. And Vince, I told you last week on the pod, I'm gunning for Notre Dame.
Truce,
All right? I'm
dude.
rooting for
Taxi
them.
squad
Rooting for them.
truce. I
the
also
pinky.
got compliments this week for not
Yeah?
going in on you as much as I should have last week. I would like to make that clear.
Well, I appreciate you for taking it easy on me.
But I was like, we should have
you
won
got
that.
two-
We should have won that. That was kind of my thought. Like it wasn't like,
and I knew you should have too. I just
yeah, it wasn't
wanted
like
to
it
be a
was like
hopeful little
5
boy
versus
and-
6, you know. So like, obviously, I'm not going to roast you because I
we
love
hung
you.
around. We
Yeah.
hung around against the top 5 ranked team in the country.
You
so
just can't,
I'm not
can't
that
throw
bad
2
about
pick
it.
sixes. Can't be that mad about it. But
You can't
some
throw
other
2
people
pick
were.
sixes against one of the best teams in the country. You just can't do it. Now, did we hang around for 3.5 quarters? Yeah, we did.
Yep.
And I'll take that.
That's why they
And
play 4.
I'll hopefully grow on that, and we'll see if Lincoln Riley's the head coach at USC next year.
Water that plant,
Because at
Nick.
this stage, the game, I'm not thinking so.
Yeah, I get that. NBA basketball's happening right now.
Is it? How's
It
it
is.
going?
The
What's
NBA
happening
Cup
in that
the
world.
The NBA Cup is currently
Really?
in the
Wow.
quarterfinals currently. So NBA Cup, they do seeding like they do the World Cup. So they play a bunch of games and then they choose who the tops are. And now they're doing it brackets. So quarterfinals are almost done. Oklahoma City and Milwaukee are both in the semis right now. The Houston Rockets and the Warriors are playing, and the New York Knicks and the Hawks are playing.
No way.
First thing I want to talk about is Karl Anthony Towns fits the Knicks in a weird way.
He's a zesty little boy.
He is
'Cause he's
a bad bitch. He is a bad bitch.
He's like painting his fingernails and stuff.
We are in
For sure.
we're in a whole different level of zesty athletes these days. Jared McCain of the 76ers.
Yes. But that kind of tracks because he's so
I'm
young.
two days into college and I'm 3 lectures behind. And then he goes
Rookie
in
of
and
the
drops,
year. Your
and then
rookie of the
drops
year is
30.
going to shake his little ass on you, you know?
He's a dog, and I love that. Karl Anthony Towns has been playing his ass off. The Knicks are playing really, really well right now. And he was on the court yelling at motherfuckers the other day, calling them hoe-ass word I can't say. All of that. Jalen Brunson, did you see this? NBA lore. You know who Grady Dick is?
What'd you call me?
Grady Dick is a player on the Toronto Raptors. Grady Dick is a second-year player.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson on the court. And you know who Josh Hart is?
Yes.
Okay. So Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson both play for the Knicks. Josh Hart's like, yeah, Jalen Brunson during the game was like, I got dick. I'm on dick. He kept saying that.
That's a strange and unusual. Is
Yeah,
right
it's
there. He's got some
honestly
dick.
he is a little bit. Yeah. Jalen Brunson really, really wants to guard some dick. He wants to get on some dick.
Karl Anthony Towns was like, no, me first.
Me first. No, he's guarded the paint, young man. Regardless, Knicks are playing well. Damian Lillard ruined a parlay for me yesterday, but I will let that go.
Don't bet on basketball, Vince. Don't
I
bet on
love it.
basketball.
It's so much fun. Point wise,
Yeah.
I had him 24.5 under for 24.5. He scored 25 points yesterday, which is a shame. That's a real shame. A couple other things. Ja Morant on an absolute tear. 17-8 Memphis Grizzlies this year. They're back. He doesn't have any guns in the locker room. He's not shooting anybody in a strip club.
As long
He's
as
on
he's
his
not
way.
trying to beat Clarence from 8 Mile, he's very good at basketball.
He's vintage D Rose. He plays the same.
He's bigger than D Rose.
I know, but he plays the same, is what I'm saying. And he can
Very
shoot
similar
threes. It's
names.
like-
I would agree with that statement. That's fair.
So, yeah. And Zach LaVine is playing better
Suck.
than most people in the league, but the Bulls
hate him.
suck.
I hate him.
And maybe he gets traded to the Warriors this year because the Warriors are also playing well.
I hope he goes in there and shows how much of a cancer he truly is. Because he's a cancer.
I agree.
And I
I
don't
tried
know
to
what
back
more
him.
to say. I
tried
can't
to
back
back him.
him. I haven't backed him. The Bulls, the whole state of Chicago sports, man, is just in true disarray.
Do you know how many?
More to say.
Do you know how many playoff wins the city of Chicago has had since 2019?
1.
4.
4. Okay.
2 of them are by the White Sox.
Hey, we're not that great.
The
COVID
city
years
of
don't count.
The city of Tampa Bay, with 2 teams, has 38, I believe. So that's a problem. That is a true problem.
Not since 2020 or not since 2019.
19 or 18, yeah.
38?
Because the Lightning went a lot. Lightning went far a couple times.
Bucks once.
Yeah.
No
and
Tampa
the Rays.
World Series.
But the Rays went.
Oh, you're talking went or conference.
It's
shit.
playoff wins. Playoff wins. Yeah.
Playoff wins. Okay, got it. Okay,
Tampa Bay with
Tampa
Bay with a couple teams and Chicago with way more. They suck. That's the NBA minute. Just wanted to talk about it. It's still going on.
NBA minute.
It's going to get hot. Let's talk money, baby.
Let's talk about money. Money.
Juan Soto.
Money.
Pens 15 years, $765 with the Mets to leave the Yankees, Mike.
Jesus Christ.
$765.
This is bananas. It
is.
Truly insane how much money these guys are making anymore.
It is.
I can't even put it into a thought process that if this was the amount of money I could touch in a given week. He could sneeze and fall over $1 million and he wouldn't even think about it.
No, literally.
Not twice.
It's crazy for sure. So I, in my brain of brains, was like, let's look at this and compare. This is not the most that a athlete has made for sure. Definitely soccer is the bigger thing. And also yearly, it's not that far off from Pat Mahomes. So Pat Mahomes gets a 10-year deal. And Juan Soto gets a 15-year deal. So that's the difference. Juan Soto is going to be 41 when the contract expires. Pat Mahomes makes $45 million a year. Juan Soto makes 51 on his deal. So he gets $6 million more a year.
So
in comparison,
I did some math on this. If you break down how much money Juan Soto makes in a minute, it equates to $98 a minute.
Oh yeah. It's crazy.
What?
It's crazy. So, so we saw the Ohtani
$98 a minute. That's his rate.
I know.
To play really shitty outfield and just hit really good.
Yeah, but you don't have to play good outfield if you're hitting like he hits. That's usually the argument there. And that's also been the argument of New York Yankees fans. And to that I say, you weren't saying that last week. You are saying that this week. You weren't saying that last week. Last week, you're like, who cares if he's not good at outfield? Now you're like, well, there's other parts of the game. It's like, all right, shut up. Who cares? Yeah, they backtrack so hardcore. Yankees fans in pain make me laugh.
Okay. I get caught up on the TikTok and I see these guys, these gaming guys who we sim the next 15 years with Juan Soto on the Mets and
that's always accurate.
And here's what happened. Do they win a World Series with him on the team?
In the next 15 years? Well, how far did they get this year, Mike?
Yeah, I get it, but that's with Aaron Judge. That's with Volpe. That's with Rizzo.
The Mets.
Oh, yeah, they were close.
They were one series away.
But now, you've allocated so much funds. Pete Alonso's not coming back.
Yeah,
There's no shot that happens.
Why do you say that?
Because Pete Alonso's a free agent, and he's going to go try and get the most money he can on the free agent market.
Why can't he get the most money out of the Mets?
Okay, what if the Yankees come in and say, hey, Pete, you want to come across town playing pinstripes?
And then the Mets say, we'll match.
Well, what if he wants to go across town and start a new chapter?
If I feel like he's going to take the most money. He's not young.
Because Rizzo's out. Rizzo's going to go back to the Cubs or the White Sox.
That'd be so funny.
Be the most White Sox thing ever.
That'd be so funny. No, I truly think that they can pay Pete Alonso top dollar too. Stephen Cohen said going into it, which
Would you want to? Would you want to?
No, but why not?
I'm going heavy on pitching. Scherzer's gone. Verlander was there. That experiment didn't work.
Max Fried is a Yankee now.
Fried's a Yankee, which I think works.
Yep.
He's definitely a nice addition to that starting five.
Yeah, but now they don't have a playoff hitter. So,
well, who's to say you need one if you can go get a role player? And maybe he fits what you're trying to do better.
Juan Soto's probably 15% of the reason they made it to the World Series.
But when a lineup is so top heavy that you don't have a guy who's running out plays every time. Like, I'd much rather have a guy playing right field that has an absolute cannon of an arm and hits for average.
I wouldn't.
When I have two of the best power hitters in the team
hit
already.
like 450 in the playoffs.
I get it, but nobody else was paying attention, and I think that hurt Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge hit 185.
Aaron Judge did not show up when the lights were the brightest. That's the problem.
Not at all, and he's already getting paid top dollar. The thing with the Mets, this is what I was saying too. Steve Cohen said, "This is a passion project. I want to win. I am not looking to make money," which is the dream of mine as a baseball fan, to have a team that's just, I will put whatever money I want into this. I do not care. Like the Mets are doing it's like my version of like hedonism as a White Sox fan would be that. Just like give me all of it and then who gives a shit. They could very reasonably just pay for whatever they want. I mean, they have hundreds of millions in dead money right now, just getting rid of Scherzer and Verlander. Doesn't care. $700 million, go to him. Stephen Cohen has so much money that this doesn't hurt him at all.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Jerry Reinsdorf has his fucking communion money.
I know.
And sits there as no, we can't get on any major network because if we did that, then
I wouldn't make as much money.
Then I don't know. We sell more of the small milkshake.
The small milkshake.
I don't know what that's like. Must be nice. I want to know. I would like that Mike Epps meme. Oh, man, I want to know what that's like. I don't know what that's like. Never had, probably never will. But
I would like to bring some fun facts into this one as well. Looking at Vinny fun facts. Highest paid athletes.
What do we got?
Highest paid athletes in the world. So
okay.
Shohei Ohtani got the largest contract until this was signed. So Ohtani got $700 million. Ohtani still has a higher average per year value. So AAV, I think, average annual value. He gets $70 million a year. So actually, his is almost $20 million more. He plays two positions, yada, yada.
He should restructure.
That paid off already. A couple of these soccer ones threw me off. So Mahomes, $450. We saw that. He gets $45 million a year for 10 years. Worth it. As a football fan, worth it. I don't care. Sure. You could give him an entire
what he's doing on the football field has never been done before.
100%. Then you look at soccer. Lionel Messi got a $674 million contract for how many years, Mike?
20.
4 years, $674 million. Average annual value of $168.5 million a year.
That's so dumb.
So you go, oh, that's crazy. Cristiano Ronaldo signed in Saudi Arabia for Al Nassr. He signed a valued contract of $536 million for how many years, Mike?
5.
2.5 years, Mike. He averaged per year $214.5 million a year. And this is the craziest one. Karim Benzema on Al Ittihad, I think it's called, also Saudi Arabia. Average or contract value of $447 million for 2 years, averaging $223.6 million a year for 2 years.
So basically what you're saying is American sport owners or team owners are fucking cheap.
That's literally what or it's the Saudis.
I thought Mbappe got $1 billion.
I don't know if that's confirmed or denied yet. These are all signed and done. So
official. I thought Mbappe got offered in stupid money. And France is Mbappe.
He's getting 16.2 from Real Madrid right now.
Interesting, because I thought last year with all the hype was he was the highest paid player ever.
Well, that was the thing. He was going to move, and he didn't end up moving. Because they have transfer rules and stuff. I don't understand how all the soccer transfers work and all that, but
so those
he will be getting that. But just the fact that Karim Benzema's getting $250 million a year is so crazy, or $225 million is crazy.
Know what I would love to do?
What's that?
A overseas pod trip. I feel like it would be going to see a soccer match.
Yeah.
In London or Ireland or somewhere.
We're going to Newcastle. We're going to Newcastle.
All right, Newcastle. Done. And go get fucked up with the locals and just interview a bunch of guys and we don't understand what they're saying and just ask them what they know about American sports. I think it would be a riot.
I would love that. I would love to go to Newcastle upon Tyne is what it's called. That's my team. They have not been playing great this year. They haven't been playing bad this year. But you better believe I do wake up and watch soccer in the mornings.
Not saying we even touch soccer as a topic, but I just think it would be fun just to be in.
We're going to a game
because it's tribal.
We're going to a game.
Done. I'll go. I don't care. I'll dress the part and everything.
Lovely. I'm going to Paris next year. Maybe I go to a PSG game.
Put on the 1975 song.
Honestly, should. Couple more things in baseball. Golden at bat. We haven't talked about this yet.
What's this?
Rob Manfred talked about murmurings of owners talking about the golden at bat, which means that you can take a player from your team, regardless of where they are in the batting order, and place them in the batter's box 1 time per game. So Aaron Judge already batted. Let's put him back in there. Let him bat again. To that, I say, fuck you. And I don't think it's going to get passed, and I don't think anybody's going to allow it to get passed. That's not how sport works.
You might as well call it the golden shower, R. Kelly. Come on.
Another pedophile. That's 3 on the list.
You might as...
1, 2. That's the 5th pedophile mentioned this episode.
Either way, you can't do that. That just once again, goes back to, are we watching professional baseball or are we watching a beer league softball game on a Sunday night? No. That's changes the whole concept of a lineup. And then I saw another argument. Of the game
well, then you would also I saw this argument the other day and I'm like, that's true. That's so fucked up for pitching. You get Shohei Ohtani in the 9th inning. Shohei Ohtani strikes out. They say, golden at bat, Shohei Ohtani get right back into the batter's box. And he gets a whole new chance to bat. That's stupid.
It's dumb. It goes against what the game is represented.
The world seemingly agrees. I would like to let you know that.
Thank you, baseball fans.
Manfred has since backtracked the statement a bit, saying it was just an idea and that people have talked about it, but they're not seriously considering it yet. But he did say that it has been gaining momentum. Fuck you, no.
Hey, coming from the guy who said the World Series trophy is nothing but a piece of metal, in quote, can literally jump off of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Piss off respectfully.
Piss off respectfully, Manfredi. Now, I will bring up the fact that the White Sox traded arguably their largest trade piece today for seemingly a, in quote, haul.
That's what people are saying.
That's what people are saying. That's the word on the street. But this really feels like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah. Oh,
and it really does. Why does it feel like Groundhog's Day, Vince?
So it's pretty cool that the White Sox do things like that. Number one, big lefty pitcher, good year, maybe a little earlier this time. Once upon a time, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, the Chicago White Sox traded a man named Chris Sale to the Boston Red Sox for Moncada, Kopech, a couple other guys. I forgot who all of them were. They all played better on the different teams that they bet on besides Moncada. I'd like to make that clear too. They were good prospects. It didn't work out for the White Sox.
Elite prospects, some will say.
Yeah. Yeah, top tier. Today, the White Sox traded a really good left-hander to the Boston Red Sox for elite prospects, some would say. 2 draft picks. Colin Coward, you're allowed to do that now. And any other team would be happy about this, but we have been through this too many times, and this is the sentiment of every White Sox fan ever, where, yeah, they're going to bring in prospects, and 2 things will happen. 1, we will bring them up at some point. They will underperform. They will go to a new team and play better. 2, we will bring them up. They'll perform properly, and we'll trade them before they hit their potential. That is what's going to happen. So, love the prospects.
Or
5 years
Vince,
ago,
you forgot 3. You forgot 3. Nothing happens at all.
100%. They never even make it.
Correct. Which is a very possible option. So I've looked at the prospects that we received in this trade. Allegedly. Yeah, they're top 50, which is exciting.
Well, one of them got drafted 6 months ago.
Great. So we got a catcher, we got an outfielder, and 2 pitchers. Is that how it's looking right now?
The pitch, yeah. I think it's catcher. Well, 2 of them are like the pitchers are like here or there. Outfielder and catcher's the big one, and then 2 draft picks is big.
Okay.
But
for Crochet, I hope he goes to Boston. I hope he goes to Beantown and he does great things. I hope he shoves. I hope he shoves. I hope he does what he does, because honestly, he was the brightest spot we've seen on this pitching staff in over a decade. So
only good player on our team. Only good player on our team.
And you just hope that this shift in thought process changes. The whole thought process of the White Sox moving to the South Loop is done. I don't know if anybody's paid attention to local trade rags in Chicago, but basically the owner of the Chicago Fire decided to pool his own money and buy that land in the South Loop, and he's moving the Chicago Fire and building a stadium at that location.
Dumb.
Not dumb. It's actually brilliant. Because
no
a soccer
one cares
stadium
about
really
the Fire. No one cares
but
about
it's brilliant.
The Fire.
You put it in an area people can easily access. You'll just go to a game on
some people. It's not like it's in the middle of like a bunch of places where people live.
But they're going to build around it, and he's smart because it's a good investment long term, and it's easy.
Yeah,
and it's accessible.
It would be a good investment
things.
if anybody cared about soccer in Chicago.
In St. Louis, people go watch soccer. Not like they have much
they
else
have
other
to.
than
They're
baseball.
Starved. They got the Blues and the Battlecocks.
Soccer. Hey, the Battlecocks are going to be around for another year, and then no one's ever going to talk about them again.
That's what I'm saying. It's so dumb, but whatever. I mean, it's smart for him if he thinks this investment's going to work out. But like,
what's insane to me is that you had an owner who owns a soccer team be able to pony up his own money to say, no, I'm going to buy the land.
Well, Reinsdorf hasn't made a lot of money. I think you're forgetting that.
No. See, the difference is he has made more money than probably fucking anybody.
Mike,
where he could have just said,
he spent $50 million on the Bulls and the White Sox. He spent a lot of money. And now they're only valued at like $5 billion collectively. So it's not like he has a lot of money or anything.
It's truly fascinating to me that he just didn't say, you know what, we'll pony up the money and we'll go there and we'll build around it. And people would. It's fascinating.
It's just
really
so
insane.
dumb, is what it is. But
it's sad. And White Sox therapy session 2.0 mid-year. We're gonna see what they do. I like the new manager. I don't know if he's gonna have the tools. Grady Sizemore is now our offensive coordinator.
Offense coordinator?
Yeah.
Of the White Sox?
Yeah, literally, that's his title. Look it up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Now they're making up funny names. I hate
literally
this stupid
his
fucking
name,
organization.
His name in the organization chart. He's still on the staff.
Yeah.
He's offensive coordinator. So somehow he's not a hitting coach. He's not a pitching coach. He's not a fielding coach. He's an offensive coordinator.
It's not even a position.
Jerry Reinsdorf comes to the table. All right, we liked what he did. He's a good-looking guy. What we need to do is take an offensive role and give it a name in baseball.
How about coordinator?
How about coordinator? Sir, that's in football. Doesn't matter. It sounds wonderful. Give it to him.
I always wanted the Bears.
I always wanted the Bears. Never happened. Call George. I'll bleed the money out of them too.
Yeah. No,
Speaking of football, the NFL, for some of you, might be a very fun topic to think about every day. Fantasy football team. Maybe you have a team that actually wins something.
I'm in the playoffs,
Well,
babe.
on this podcast, oh, you are, Vince?
I am.
There you go. What's your record?
7-7. Dak Prescott injured. Stephon Diggs injured. Everybody on my team injured. Doesn't matter. I made it.
Really got through the hard times, man. I give you a lot of credit.
I'm going to lose for week 1, but it doesn't matter. No one gives a shit about fantasy. Let's move on.
That's a true statement. But for some of you, you might be cherishing this time. Maybe you're a Vikings fan. Maybe you're a Packers fan. Maybe you're a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're not a fan of either. Maybe
Chiefs,
you're just
Eagles.
a fan of somebody, Chiefs, somebody good. We don't know what that's like on this podcast. We're Bears fans. We're homers of the Bears. And every week is just a little bit more pain, a little bit more of hello, darkness, my old friend, if you will. And we are going to bring up the lovely ESPN 1000 staff this episode. If you are a local to Chicago and you do listen to ESPN 1000, you will know that there is a show by the name of Waddle and Sylvie that has been on for over 20 years, I think, at this stage.
Something like that. Protect Tom Waddle with your fucking heart.
Protect Tom Waddle with
love
everything you got, because Tommy Waddle is a legend in the city of Chicago and arguably one of the better Bears legacies that you could look at, because he played for Ditka and he was a real grit guy, integrity guy. Right?
He's Edelman before Edelman.
Edelman before Edelman. Tom Thayer could be in that conversation as well. Former offensive lineman for the Bears, does all the local Chicago reporting that you would want to hear. Tell you what, Tom.
I tell you what, Tom.
There's his co-host, gentleman by the name of Mark Silverman.
Yeah, Sylvie.
AKA Sylvie, who lately has had some interesting takes. The first take
reports.
Takes reports.
Reports means there's a source.
So his investigative journalism, recency bias here over the past 4 months has been arguably shaky. So the first one was about week, 3 or 4, that he was reporting.
I think it was like 7. It was when it was getting bad.
It?
Yeah, it was like Cardinals.
So shortly after the Cardinals game, so we're going on almost a month ago now.
Something like that.
That basically that he was hearing that the Chicago Bears locker room was leaning towards Tyson Bagent being the starter and not Caleb Williams.
There was like a mutiny and they wanted Caleb out and they wanted Bagent in.
Right. Vince, what was his source?
Tyson Bagent's dad was the source, saying that the locker room wanted Bagent to start. His dad said that the locker room wants Bagent to start. Weird.
It's like when Big AJ of the Costco guy says Little Justice is the next Aaron Judge. Okay, so let's take it easy. That gets 0 big.
Can I even say it because there's 0?
1.5. You're gonna get a half a boom. Okay, cool.
Boom.
So now the most recent take is that Ryan Poles only took the Chicago Bears job. What is this? Almost 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
Because he had a direct line of report to ownership and not anybody else. No team president, no nothing.
Yeah.
And that he has now become disgruntled and annoyed that Kevin Warren is his main report. Vince, your thoughts?
Disgruntled enough to resign.
Really? That was the report.
The report was that he might resign his position. Number one, I wouldn't blame him. Kevin Warren's the fucking worst, so I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
Yeah, he's the worst. He did a horrible job with the Big Ten. They got way better when he left, so figure that one out. Yeah, right now I have a hard time trusting Mark Silverman's reports. Is all I'm saying. I wouldn't blame him. This is very Chicago. This is very much like, report up to me before you get to me, yeehaw. He's not resigning. He's the general manager of an NFL football team. He's not going to resign.
There's only 32 of these jobs.
Yeah, but he's getting Rick Hond a little bit right now, though. If you're a Sox fan, you understand that concept, but he's getting Rick Hond a little bit.
I think he's getting a Hond job. There's no doubt about it. We discussed
it
a little bit.
That's like Pat
a little
McAfee.
bit last week. Getting a Hond job. So last week we discussed the Hond job. Now we're going to go a little bit more in depth about the Hond job.
Yeah.
So the Hond job, basically, what we're referring to is a gentleman by the name of Rick Hahn, who was the general manager of the Chicago White Sox, who had to report to Kenny Williams, who was the president of operations that worked right under Jerry Reinsdorf. And he couldn't get anything approved unless he went to Kenny and then got it approved from Jerry.
Yeah.
Rick Hahn notoriously was fucking miserable as a Chicago White Sox GM and just kind of fizzled out after his contract was over and just like,
he wanted to give contracts to Harper and Machado. He wanted to hire a different manager, not Tony La Russa, and it all just got poo-pooed.
Correct. So Ryan Poles is getting Hahn jobbed because now the reports are coming out that Ryan Poles, in fact, wanted to fire Matt Eberflus last year, at the end of last year, and start this whole fresh with Caleb and a new head coach. That was his thought process.
And do you know who had interest?
Jim Harbaugh,
who is putting on a coaching clinic in Los Angeles right now. But we had to keep the guy that lost the fucking AFC South in the last game of the season before he gets hired as a head coach. It's like, it's comedy.
So basically, Kevin Warren, after being hired, put the kibosh on the Harbaugh thought process very quickly because it is now known that him and Jim Harbaugh did not like each other because of many grievances in the Big Ten days.
Bullshit.
This is such garbage. I can't even think straight. The corporate fucking dichotomy of the Chicago Bears organization right now.
Chicago sports.
Just Chicago sports in general. These aren't decisions that can be made by lawyers and be made by guys who don't understand how to put the fucking football team together.
Yeah.
No. We're going to lean on people who know nothing about that. And that would be like, for example, Vince got sick and I just found some random fucko off the street to say, hey, could you come sit in for my friend on this podcast?
You find a guy that worked like a couple years on like the World Health Organization as like the accountant. And they're like, well, he worked in the World Health Organization. It's like, yeah, he wasn't a fucking doctor, you idiots. Like, that's literally what's happening. They're like, he's good with numbers. I'm like, the numbers aren't important. I need to know what medicine I need to take right now. Like, he didn't even... God damn it.
No offense to Kevin Warren. What has he done other than build a stadium in Minnesota and then make the Big Ten worse?
Yeah. They got literally better the minute he left. Literally the minute he left. They got Oregon. They got USC. Oregon's the best team in the country now. Like, the Big Ten got actively better when he left. And he doesn't like Jim Harbaugh because Jim Harbaugh cheated in college football, even though he was going to become an NFL coach, clearly good at it. Like, that's the thing that drives me bonkers bananas. And they're like, we don't want to pay for two coaches. And what are they going to do next year but pay for two coaches? Because they extended them. They gave Eberflus an extension last year. What are we doing?
It would have been the perfect split. And now Ryan Poles, actually, they signed him for 3 years or 4 years.
I like him. I still like him.
And they gave Eberflus 5. So they, in theory, thought that the GM wasn't going to outlast that coach.
Well, they gave him 3 years on top of the 2 that he had. So it wasn't, It
just goes back to the thought process that the Bears get bamboozled, or bear-boozled, should we call it? New phrase.
Bamboozle themselves.
Bear-boozled. They bear-boozled themselves.
It's like setting a rat trap and then stepping on it.
To think that you're going to give a guy $40 million for the next 2 years to do dick is, oh my God, what a job. I call up Matt Eberflus and be like, dude, can I be your assistant?
I don't blame you.
Because he seems like a nice guy.
That's why they liked him. That's why they liked him, because he's a nice guy. He's not going to rock the ship. It's like, you need to rock the fucking ship. It's a problem. We're having a problem.
So the ship's getting rocked. Kevin Warren has come out and said he will be in charge of the head coach hiring.
Which is good.
This is it?
No, that's sarcasm. They're also going to bring an outsider in, which worked great with Bill Polian. So run it back.
Yeah, Bill Polian. Yeah, let's get him in.
The guy notoriously connected to Indianapolis chose the Indianapolis Colts defensive coordinator. Weird thing. How does that happen? No one knows.
What happens first? We hired some old name head coach that nobody really remembers.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people forgot about. And then we go back to the vicious cycle.
Yeah. Welcome to Chicago, Mike Holmgren.
Ryan Poles gets fired. What happens first? Old, silly head coach that nobody remembers.
That one.
Or Ryan Poles gets fired.
Old, silly head coach, shit doesn't go well. Poles gets fired even though he never made that decision.
Okay.
In that order.
Because Poles has had some misses. The Jalen Carter thing we could say is a definite miss.
He's had some hits, though. You're not going to... I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you. Rome Odunze is going to be a top 10 receiver.
On what roster?
Hopefully here, but the minute he leaves, he might be better. Like Caleb Williams is a no question good pick. The thing is you have to have a staff, and I don't believe that he has decisions to put the staff together.
Okay.
I don't think they give him that.
Okay.
Also, Tory Taylor is the best punter in the league.
Hey, I'm so happy that
we're doing it a lot.
Drafted and wasted a draft pick on a guy that is
wasted
inconsequential
is wrong
to the outcome.
Because
inconsequential.
He keeps him close.
Inconsequential is the
not
word.
True. Inconsequential means that he has no consequence to it. That is incorrect. He keeps them in games, literally, as a punter.
He does not keep them in games.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
You could take any punter on the UFA market right now.
That's cool, but also incorrect. That is a lie. You just completely lied. That's not true. He has the longest distance. He's the best punter in the league right now, and literally has stopped teams from scoring touchdowns because he punched so far. Literally. It's
based
statistically.
Off the record, Vince, I think my thought process.
You can't blame a punter for
cleaner.
No, incorrect. That's crazy.
I'm just saying
that's like being like Cole Kmet's really bad at tight end. Cole Kmet's really bad at tight end. True or false?
Valuable draft capital to fill holes that are clearly needed.
We've talked about this. What holes? Give us a right guard.
Offensive line, defensive line,
fourth round,
defensive backfield. Can I go on?
Fourth, please. Find me a fourth rounder that's more valuable than him this year.
I'm just saying.
You can't do it. I looked it up. I
probably could have.
I did the research. I did the research because you keep arguing me on this. You cannot.
All right, I'm going to do a deep dive. And
should have done it already because I already did.
Okay.
I already did.
Year.
I dove into. Hold on. I dove into it. You got to
over.
give it to me. You got to give it to me because you're saying you're
I'm
right.
Not
you're
give
not.
You shit.
You're not right. You're not right.
Yes, because you wasted a draft pick on somebody who is inconsequential to winning or losing.
Yeah,
football.
But you're lying because that's not true. It's not inconsequential.
Yes, it is.
It is literally consequential. It's
you could have done the
same
thing with a guy off of the unrestricted free agent
because there's 29 other teams that have worse punters. That isn't true. And we punted probably more than every other team in the league.
I'm so happy with my 4 wins and the best punter in all of football. Sweet.
You can't blame a punter for wins. You can blame a punter on distance and you can blame a punter on distance, and if he's doing it accurately, he's doing both of those correctly. Bears are mostly in one-score games because teams can't score from the 5-yard line. Tory Taylor's a good punter. There are no offensive linemen in the 4th round that were any good this year. Also, 4th round draft picks for defensive backs in their first year are, if you're talking inconsequential, they're literally inconsequential. Tory Taylor's been the best punter in the league. First year defensive backs in the 4th round, 100%. I looked in the entire 4th round. I looked in the entire 5th round. There isn't a single guy that's a difference maker this year right now that we could have drafted instead of him. There isn't one. I did a whole
prior years. What about prior years?
Yeah, because Tory Taylor was only available last year. Why didn't we draft? Okay, we needed a quarterback. Why didn't we draft Tom Brady in 2000?
When Ryan Poles gets
Tom
fired,
Brady was good. Yeah.
When Ryan Poles gets fired, he will be remembered for wasting 2 valuable draft picks in his tenure on punters.
On Chase Claypool.
Write that down. Write that down.
No shot. You do, and you remind me.
He's drafted 2 punters.
Fine. I'm not saying both of them are good. I'm saying one of them was good, and I'm saying that there wasn't any value in the fourth round this year
Vince,
to change the fact that they won 4 games.
Answer me a question.
Okay.
Is a punter going to win you a playoff game? Single-handedly.
Yeah, could for sure.
All right, let's move on.
Bears are up a touchdown. There's 2 minutes left. We punt. They put them on the 2-yard line. 2-minute drill from the 2-yard line or 2-minute drill from the 20-yard line. You pick. Which do you prefer?
God, Vince, it's just all I'm saying is when Ryan Poles is inevitably let go, he will be remembered for wasting 2 draft picks on punters.
He will get remembered for trading for Chase Claypool and drafting Darnell Wright if he doesn't work out. He is not going to get remembered for Torrey Taylor.
Yes.
You might, but that's not going to be it. That's not going to be the argument.
2 punters, 3 years.
You could say it a bunch, but that's not true.
So wasted.
Yeah.
It's wasted resources. That's
well, yeah. Kieran from BYU is working out great, so we're good there. Thank God he drafted him.
I'm just saying, man.
I know what you're saying, but it isn't. You're saying isn't true. There's
Corey
other
Taylor's
things
going to be a
made.
free agent and be on a completely separate team before this team ever goes to a Super Bowl with them.
Could be, but so will every other fourth round missed draft pick for an offensive line. And also, he probably won't. He's going to Brad Maynard for the rest of the year. I've never been so confident in a take in my life.
Remember Shane
Leckler in the
NFL and how many Super Bowls he's won. Let's go.
He's not winning you, but either is a right guard. Name me one right guard that won a team Super Bowl.
Let's go back and look at,
yeah,
the Super Bowl winning teams of the New England Patriots era, who had maybe some of the best offensive lines in recent history.
The reason they won is because of their offensive line as one player drafted in the 4th round. Name me one.
But I'm just saying, if you look at the body of work by most teams,
there's 5 guys on a line, Mike. There's 5 guys on a line.
I get it, but I'm saying they're valuable pieces.
What did you ask me when you brought this up? What did you say? Name me a punter is the reason that they're the Super Bowl winners. Name me one. And I said, I can't. Name me a right guard that's the reason they won the Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls did
Shaq Mason? I mean, you could look at Shaq Mason and
he's
say,
the reason they won that Super Bowl.
He's a Pro Bowl guard.
He's the
drafted not in the 1st round.
He's the reason they won the Super Bowl.
So he's part of it.
Yeah.
He's more of an effective option to use on a game in and game out basis than a fucking punter. He's a part of every play.
Not if you're punting every game.
Dude, he's a part of 4 plays of every drive, basically. So, yeah, a punter comes out maybe on an average clip 5 times a game if you're terrible, which we are.
I would argue that
there you go.
Tom Brady is more important than Shaq Mason, personally.
I would argue that it's all relative. And that's
I would too.
Ultimately my point.
And I'm telling you,
and you could have potentially drafted and groomed offensive linemen to be something. Not like saying we have great coaching.
Whom the Bears have been very good at their whole time as a team.
I get it. I'm just saying it's just valuable resources you wasted. You also drafted Velus Jones. You also kept him.
Right.
You
want to know what he gets remembered? He gets remembered for Velus Jones more than he gets remembered for Torrey Taylor.
He gets remembered for the body of work entirely.
Yeah. I will not take Torrey Taylor slander because he might be the best player on the team this year. He might be.
No, he's not. He's not.
Who is?
And this team in particular,
Jalen Johnson probably.
Dumpster fire.
I agree, but Torrey Taylor, pretty good.
I think the best player on the team, one could argue, is Caleb Williams. There's no doubt. Offensively, Jalen Johnson quit last week. This team quit.
The whole team quit last week, dude. Whole team fucking stinks.
Even more frustrating. Ryan Poles, if you go watch pregame interviews, which he has one every week, basically states that, we come together as a team and we're going to figure it out, and practice looked great this week and blah, blah, blah. And then you come out and shit the bed and you shit the bed and you shit the bed.
It's coach
goes to show me, I don't think he has a thumb on this team at all. I don't think they have any effective leadership.
What is he going to say, though? What are you going to say in a pregame? Yeah, we fucking stink.
The problem is you had an entire offseason where the lights were bright and the hype train was hype and the Kool-Aid was being drank by everybody, including us.
But it's not that it was never this year.
Of course, it was never this year, but Vince, you understand we are a tip ball away of being 5-2.
Dude, I saw a stat. It was hilarious about teams if one-score games were flipped on their heads and the Bears are 8-4. The Bears are in the playoffs. The Bears are in the playoffs right now if one-score games went the other way.
It's so sad.
It's mismanagement from a coaching staff more than anything. And we've known that, and changes have been made. Just make the right decision. They probably won't.
Sell the team, George. Sell the team. Every Chicago team,
single
fire sale.
Team
Fire
in
sale.
Chicago,
Scorched earth.
except for maybe the Cubs, need to get sold. Every team besides the Cubs.
Yeah, the Ricketts don't want to spend money anymore, so they're very Jerry right now. But
they might again, but still, like every team, every Reinsdorf, Wirtz, McCaskies, everybody just sell the team. We're the third, maybe fourth biggest market in the entire U.S. Act as such, please.
thank you so much for joining our Bears Therapy weekly session. And
God damn, I fucking
let's
hate
talk
them.
about our weekly picks.
Yeah, let's talk about the Packers and the Lions.
Let's talk about the Packers and the Lions. Let's talk about our picks. So week over week, Mike wins by with one win. One more win than Vince. Mike goes 9-4. Vince goes 8-5.
Which means we're tied on the season now.
Whoa. This is getting heavy. We are tied.
Baby.
We're getting good. We're getting good at this. So
no, you're up 1. Excuse me. You're up 1.
Thank you. Take a bow.
You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Wouldn't that be up 2?
No, we were tied last week. You won by 1.
That's right.
Boom.
Here we go. So we got 1. We both silly boys and picked the Bears. We're idiots. It's fine. But this past week, the Packers
you know why
and
we
Lions
picked the
played on
Bears?
Thursday. Because we thought Thomas Brown was going to be the
interim head coach bump.
Perfection.
Not so much.
You're wrong.
Not so much.
Not so much. All right. But the Packers played the Lions in a epic game. And this was an NFC North battle that you kind of love to watch.
Yeah. 2
teams very equally matched in a shootout. Old school football, defense, running the ball, a lot of scoring. Josh Jacobs had 3 touchdowns. Can we talk about that for a minute? Wow. I mean, the guy's
so
just
good.
Talking.
You know how much fun he's having in that offense compared to the Raiders?
Oh, he's got to be having a ball.
Put in a LaFleur offense, and they're like, go for it. He's probably having a blast, dude. He gotta be. I've been watching some of their schemes, like just on Twitter. They pop up, and I'm like, the Raiders weren't running shit like this. They were not running shit like this. Like,
he is a, fun fact, Tulsa, Oklahoma son. Check that out.
No kidding.
Yep, he's from Tulsa, boy.
He's got gaps the size of a skinny girl from Alabama. That's all I'm saying about that. He can make it through any gap. He's not getting hit on contact right through the hole. He's just running, baby. That was a thigh gap reference, in case you're wondering.
Oh, I like it. Gotta love you. Mind the gap, right? Mind that gap.
All of those things happen, and the Lions win the damn game.
All those things happen. Lions win the damn game, and Dan Campbell also proves that he has balls of steel.
Yeah.
Basically, 4th and inches, and he decides, you know what?
On their own.
By 3. Yeah. Can kick
40?
a field goal now. Decides to go, fuck it. I'm just gonna get this first down, and then I'll kick the field goal and run out some clock. Doesn't give the Packers a shot in hell. Jared Goff falls down. A lot of question, was he down prior to handing the ball off to David Montgomery for that first down run?
Replay says no.
He tripped. Replay says no. They come out as winners. And the Lions continue to prove to be one of the best football teams in all of professional football.
I would like to ixnay the one of the. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now. Who's
really?
Lions or
Chiefs?
Yeah, but the Lions are playing better football than the Kansas City Chiefs right now. The Chiefs have some devil's magic going on.
Yeah, they really do. I don't know what voodoo,
some
ragdolls around there somewhere.
Lots of whoopsie daisies. Brittany Holmes, yeah.
I don't know what Brittany Mahomes is doing. She's probably got like little. Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, Eras Tour is over.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Travis Kelce was like, Ebony God, like was all about him.
I know.
And dating the Ebony Queens.
I know.
Fat old butts. And
grew a mustache.
Yeah, and then grew a mustache, and now he's all into like flat ass white women. I don't get it.
Brother, if I could, I would. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Which one? Flat ass white women?
Honestly, Taylor Swift or anybody else he's ever dated. I'll take all of them. So I can't blame the guy.
For the money?
No, for everything, dude. Come on. He's a legend. He's a star. He's a massive star. Think about the podcast bump we'd get, Mike. If I came up to you, I was like, hey, big news. I'm dating Taylor Swift. We're getting more viewers than we have now. I'll tell you that. 100%.
Well, yeah. What I'm also banking on, though, is one day Vince comes to me and says, Mike, it finally happened. I'm like, Vince, what happened? He's going to be like, listen, I talked to George, and I'm
me and Virginia.
Virginia McCaskey and I, we're an item now.
I'm going to go consummate police for the love of God, keep her alive.
For the love of God, keep her alive.
Oh,
Mike,
no.
It's going to happen. Just
That's
hold out.
So bad.
I'm going to try and impregnate her and try not break her at the same time.
You can't impregnate her. She couldn't get impregnated since the 80s, brother. It's over there. Oh, my God. It might be the 70s. Jesus
awful.
Christ.
If you've been
shout
with the
out to
podcast
Vatican.
long enough, I've always said Vince needs to become Virginia McCaskey's little boy toy.
Fine with me.
And
Can do. I'm a sweet pea.
He's a sweet pea, apple of her eye. Now, the Browns played the Steelers at home, and Danger Russ is back. One could say could be spicy.
Steelers are good.
Russ is good. Russ is back. Russ just had a year where he went to college and it didn't make sense. Now he transferred and he's dogging.
Najee's got a role. George Pickens is playing his ass off. Pat Fryermuth getting in the offense this week.
They're back.
One thing I will say about the Browns, number one, Jameis Winston, most electric quarterback in the NFL. Still don't care how it goes for him. Most electric quarterback. He's going to throw the ball to somebody.
Kadarius Toney. I mean,
remember him?
Back, so.
Remember him?
CT God.
Jerry Jeudy's never been so happy to not be on the Broncos. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't matter that they're not winning in the Cleveland. He gets every ball. He gets every ball.
Bet the over on everything Jerry Jeudy related every week from here on out. Because it's like receiving over, receptions over, touchdown most likely.
He gets every ball.
Just go all in on Jerry Jude. So Steelers pull that guy out. Now the Saints played the Giants, and this game was just underwhelming. Who cares?
What a dude! All I can say is Drew Lock finally gets a start. Okay.
And also Derek Carr broke his hand.
Yeah, he needs to figure out how to stay on the field. That's all I can say about that.
Next question, Vince. Aaron Rodgers, who does he play for next year? Because the Jets are eliminated from playoff contention, and they're terrible, and they fired their head coach, who was actually pretty good. But other people think otherwise. So your thoughts?
Sam Darnold back in Minnesota? I'm trying to
going back to the Jets. No way.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Sam Darnold leaves Minnesota. Maybe JJ's not ready yet. Green Bay Packers legend goes to New York, doesn't work out, goes to Minnesota, brings him somewhere. Some people are saying it's the Favre train. I don't think he's going to, but I'm trying to push this agenda. Aaron Rodgers pulls a Brett Favre, goes to New York, and then to Minnesota, brings him to an NFC championship, loses. Possible.
What I don't understand, if you're the Vikings sitting at 11-2 as they currently are, how do you get off of Sam Darnold? How can you go? How do you look at that and go, oh yeah, JJ, we know you tore your meniscus, but you're gonna get the start now. No,
I don't think you can. You gotta it depends on how they do in the playoff, but you can't do that.
I don't think you could do that to him. I think he deserves, unless a team like the Titans could be desperate and say, all right, we'll give you a bag, come to Tennessee, play in a different division, do all that.
You saying the Titans pick up a previous draft bust that ends up working out a little bit better for them? They've done it before. It's worked out. Tannehill season, baby. Bring it back.
Could be. It could be Tannehill season 2.0. You never know.
New York Jets thought they were winning the Super Bowl at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, poor Devontae. Now, this was a game that Vince and I picked, but we both thought it was a pick 'em. We were correct. The Jaguars somehow pull the best out of Mac Jones, and Mac Attack wins a game, and the Jaguars, I don't know.
Titans are so bad. It's just bad.
Titans are bad. Tony Pollard's good, but they're really bad. And then Kirk Cousins cooked at football.
Dude, I thought this was a you like that game. I thought this was a revenge game. He comes into Minnesota. He said, should have never got rid of me. I've honestly maybe never been more wrong.
Sam D said, hold my Vans.
Efficient.
Watch this.
Efficient. Yeah. Maybe the most efficient performance I've ever seen.
350 plus yards, like 5 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Jordan
86% completion. Jordan Addison's been on a tear. Justin Jefferson doesn't even matter. Jordan Addison's amazing. They're good. The thing with the Minnesota Vikings is they get to the playoffs and they don't play well. So let's see if that happens.
Well, that's what Kirk.
Brother, that's their whole franchise's history.
That's true. Because they've
never won one.
Multiple
They've
times.
been close, but they never purple people eaters. They had the whole thing. Never.
Man, how insane would it be if the battle for the NFC goes up to an NFC North matchup? Like, it would truly be.
It could in 3 different teams.
It's truly insane.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel a little bit better as a Bears fan that we're literally in the best division in the NFC.
Yeah, but then if we ever want to get good again, we're playing against the best division in the NFC.
That probably won't happen. But what I will say, who called the Vikings lore?
Yeah, but it's easy for you because you've been suckling on Sam Darnold since the beginning of time. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
It's because you love him.
It's got me feeling nicey.
It's got me feeling nicey.
All right, let's go to the Eagles.
Dude, Philadelphia is hilarious. I love Philadelphia. They're probably my favorite sports town, bar none. Did you see what happened?
Does Xavier Legette catch that ball? Is that a catch?
No, you see the replay? That ball's on the ground. I wanted it to be the end of this game. Mind you, the Philadelphia Eagles have won 9 games in a row. Keep that in mind. The sentiment coming out of Philadelphia is that all is horrible and the world is burning. That was the come out of it. Brandon Graham on a podcast. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts don't even like each other anymore. They were friends before they played together. Now they don't like each other. All this stuff. The Eagles have maybe the MVP. There's a real chance that Saquon Barkley could break records this year and become the MVP. They've won 9 in a row. They are in the driver's seat in the NFC East. It's almost impossible to take it away from them. And people are like, hey, the Eagles are broken. Because Philadelphia is that type of town. It doesn't matter what they're doing.
But, like, why is A.J. Brown so butthurt that he's not getting enough touches?
Yeah, I guess. 4 receptions, 43 yards, no TDs.
So he's TOing right now. He's TOing.
Well, and then do you see what else happened?
No.
So this beef starts happening, and then Donovan McNabb's like, squash the beef. You guys are good. Maybe you should just talk to each other man to man. And then TL on Twitter is like, funny coming from you. You never did that for me when we had an argument.
Oh, no. That's just it's like mom and dad, don't fight. You're trying to make it better.
It's so funny that the main quarterback right now, like the current quarterback and the current star wide receiver have beef, and T.O. and Donovan McNabb still somehow have beef. That's Philly, baby. I love Philly. I love them.
Oh,
Can't get enough of them.
It's diabolical. Yeah. Well, the Eagles stay great, and good luck. Good luck to old Nicky boy out there. He's got his hands full, clearly. And
in the Super
Baker,
Bowl.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. They might eat each other. Baker Mayfield's very good at football. Beat the Raiders.
Baker Mayfield's very good at football, and it's still the Raiders. And the Buccaneers can very well make the playoffs now because the Falcons are bad randomly.
Yeah.
But again, it's the Raiders.
The Raiders. Vince, do the Falcons, which we didn't touch too much on, is it Michael Penix's season? Do you go to him now?
No.
All right.
No, you finish the year with Kirk. You let Penix get healthy or whatever he
captain.
needs to do. Yep.
Maybe they were onto something. Seahawks play the Cardinals in the desert near Chicago, Mike, and Seahawks win.
I thought the Cardinals were good. I don't know if they're good.
Yeah,
anymore.
they're not. They're not. Vince.
They were, and then they weren't, and then they were, and then they weren't. Like they're
do
like
this. They
I
do
know.
this every year. They do it. They're like, they give you a sign of hope, and then they're like, yeah, we're good. And then you're like, holy shit, they're good. And then it's like, Kyler
They were
Murray's
taking
like,
wins. They were taking wins like pew, 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 pew. And then they just started losing them fast.
I would like to remind you, Michael McDonald is a good coach.
Yes.
And he doesn't know you, but you're his brother. And not only that, but he knows how to coach a football team. And Gino is just Gino, man. He's good at football. He's got some weapons.
He's good at football sometimes. Gino Smith is good at football sometimes.
How about Zach Chabernet being a Chabernet? Being a lovely chab.
Tasty as an aged wine, some would say. Seahawks at the top of the NFC West right now. The Rams have something to say about that, but Seahawks 8-5, top of the NFC West.
We'll get there. So the Bears, we talked about it.
Yeah, let's just move
Bills,
on. 49ers are good now.
The Bills and the Rams play. Vince, I thought this game was an easy pick, but we're wrong.
That's what happens when you have Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is really good at football. Not surprising.
You have everyone healthy.
Yeah, and Matthew Stafford still has a cannon. Doesn't matter how old he is, still has a cannon. This feels like a reality check for Buffalo because they've been a little too high recently.
Let's face it, they almost won this game. They did. They almost pulled it out.
They did, but they were also down by a lot.
The Buffalo Bills score 21 points in a quarter.
Yeah.
Josh Allen willed them to life.
Yeah. But the Rams scored, 32 in 2 quarters? The middle of the game was Rams. And then the Bills were like, we have to come back.
What's insane to me is Josh Allen throws for 3 touchdowns, runs for 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
It is insane, this stat line. 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, 22 of 37. On the ground, leading rusher, 10 carries, 82 yards, 8.2 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns on the ground.
55 fantasy points this week. 55.
If you have him, God bless you, and he should be MVP. Highly considered. Wow.
Second after Saquon, in my humble opinion. Give it to a running back.
Give it to a running back for once, will you? And then the Chiefs just somehow continue to figure out how to pull wins out of their ass.
I call it black magic. It's black magic.
So this game looked like Justin Herbert was going to be out, got tweaked, got a goofy hit, went up in the air, came down weird. Okay. He's out for like 3 plays before the half, comes back after the half, balls out. And before you know it, Patrick Mahomes has the ball somehow with the last 2 minutes on the clock.
Which is always, it's like giving Brady the ball with 2 minutes. It's over.
It's just insane.
And
how he moves the pocket, how he does what he does. I don't understand it. Call the refs out, whatever you want. At this stage of the game, it's just difficult to deny. I mean, game-winning drive after game-winning drive after game-winning drive. It's like, really?
And it's always different. It does not like the same thing happens every time. No matter what, it's just like a different new way to just screw the other team. If there was a way to bet on Justin Herbert leaving a game and coming back, I would. It's like, will he come back? It does not matter what the injury is. Justin Herbert's coming back for the end of the game. Balls of steel, Jim Harbaugh team. It's done. If he leaves, he's coming back. It's just going to happen.
To think that they have Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt on opposite ends of their offensive line is truly insane to me.
Yeah. That's how you build the team, man.
And now they can use draft picks over the next 2 to 3 years to build upon what they have there in the middle of that offensive line, like 2nd round picks, like 3rd round picks, like 4th round picks, not used on punters.
Well,
and with that, they could do so much in order to grow this team with draft capital and real resources.
Yep. I mean, you're right, but They already have a line, Mike, and they're able to develop a line, Mike. That's the difference. Make that very clear.
Let's move on to the Bengals and Cowboys.
Yep.
Bengals almost
Congratulations.
Almost lose to the Cowboys.
Congratulations, though. They won one. Malaria bet's getting sweeter and sweeter as
he's not getting malaria.
Go by.
For the record, Vince is not contracting malaria.
Hey, not impossible. They still have a very, 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 very slim chance of making it to the playoffs. I think it requires like the Colts to win one game against another team and then lose out for the rest of the year, and then like two other AFC teams to lose out for the rest of the year. I think that's the requirement for that to happen. Outside of that, they're not going to. Jamar Chase is really good at football.
Jamar Chase, very good at football. So is Joe Herbert.
Joe Burrow. But they both are. Honestly, put those two guys together, Jesus Christ.
You have the best quarterback in all football right there. He could throw a football over the mountains, one could say.
Like
all right, let's talk about week 15. Let's get our picks up. Vince, I picked last week, so you are up.
Here we go.
There it is. That was a hot knuckle crack, everybody, if you didn't hear it.
Right there. Rams 49ers, Mike. Who do you got?
I hate the 49ers now. Give me the Rams.
I agree, and also the Rams have something to play for. Commanders Saints. Not even a thought, in my opinion.
Considering the topic, give me the commies.
Yeah. Chiefs Browns.
Which I would like to bring up before we get to Chiefs Browns. The Commanders are now in talks of bringing back the Redskins name.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Just saying. Give me the Chiefs. Dumb question.
All right. Bengals Titans.
Give me the Bengals.
Yep, same. All right, pretty chalk so far. Dolphins Texans, fun matchup. Both teams need to get off the schneid a little bit.
Give me the Texans. I like the Texans in this one. Bye week, they come back fresh.
In Texas, yeah, I got to take them too. I want to take the Dolphins a little bit, but Ravens Giants. Should we just skip this one and put Ravens?
Oh man, let's put the Ravens.
Yeah, Jets Jaguars.
Shit bowl.
Yeah.
Give me the Jets because they need to get off the schneid and the Jags are horrible.
Is Trevor playing? Or is he out for the season?
I don't know.
Mac Jones look kind of good.
He looked okay.
Jets got the quid in them. Give me the Jags. Fuck it.
All right, here we go.
All right, Cowboys Panthers.
Oh. Give me the Panthers at home. They're bound to win one of these fucking games.
Ooh, Bryce Young, kind of good now.
Good
Not enough people are saying kind of good now. Figured it out.
Good at football.
Bucks Chargers.
Who'd you pick?
Cowboys. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. Bucks Chargers.
This is like Mike's favorite teams. This is like Mike's favorite teams right now.
Yeah, this is a toughie because I love Baker, but I don't. Chargers come off of a loss like that and they fuck shit up. Give me the Chargers. It's going to be a dogfight, though. It's going to be truly a dogfight.
I think Baker's trying to win this division. The only way they can do that is get wins, dude. Give me the Bucks. Mike Evans back, playing well. Come on.
All right.
Back. Colts Broncos.
Oof.
This one's tough,
Broncos
too, man.
play really good at home. Give me the Broncos.
I think I'm going to take them too. Colts could win that game, though. Patriots Cardinals.
Get right game for the Cards. Give me the Cards.
Agreed. Bills Lions.
Oh, what a matchup. Part of me is like, does the gravy train continue in Detroit? And I think the train stops. Give me Josh Allen. Doesn't have two major losses on turf. Give me the Bills.
It's a pick 'em. I'll take the Lions. Steelers Eagles.
Ooh. This is going to be a game. Give me all of the under. Don't know about the drama. Close game against Panthers. Ooh, Russ ballin'. Give me the Steelers. I feel like they win. I feel like
I'm
the
taking
gravy
the Eagles.
train. All right.
Only because more shit's going to come out and more shit's going to happen and the Eagles are going to win 10 in a row now because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Philadelphia rocks. Packers Seahawks in Seattle.
I don't think the Packers lose 2 road games in a row. Yeah, no. Give me the Packs. Give me the Packers on
they're
this
playing
one.
for something. I'll take the Packers too. Bears Vikings. I'll just give you the Vikings. I don't really
just
think
give
we
me
need
the
to talk about
Vikings.
that.
I cannot. If they win, I'll gladly take the L.
100%. Falcons Raiders. Aiden O'Connell probably playing.
I don't care. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah. Kirky, I was going to
give me the Falcons. Give me Drake London a score.
All right. I like it. Those are our picks, bud.
It was a hell of a pick now, wasn't it, Vince?
It was.
We picked
really
it. Don't you dare put any slander on Tory Taylor's name or Vince will fucking hunt you down and kick you in the back of the fucking knee.
He's
give you tendon knee.
You're getting tendon knee from me.
You ever fucking watch it around Tory Taylor's name, Vince will you fuck around and find out.
Crocodile punter, baby.
I've never seen any man defend a punter quite like Vince in my life.
You can't blame him.
And we've seen some punters in Chicago. Brad Maynard.
Brad Maynard.
A1.
Never forget.
Brad Maynard.
Never forget.
Right?
He's good.
Robbie Gold. Right?
Who was the last guy? I forgot his name.
Pat O'Donnell.
There you go. Yeah, we've seen him a lot too. He wasn't very good.
Good Italian boy right there. Good Italian.
Irish, no?
I'm kidding. Yes.
Oh.
But if you're Irish and Italian, you would clearly like this podcast because that's what we are. And we thank you for joining us week after week. Regardless if you're any of those things, thank you.
Yes.
It has been 50 episodes this year, people, and we got 2 left. Or 3. We got 3.
Do we?
2? How many weeks in a year?
Well, it depends on how many. It depends on how many Wednesdays in a year.
52, 53 could be.
We record on New Year's Day, so 2 more this year.
We got 2 more this year to finish out another incredible year of the podcast. So if you've been with us this whole time, thank you so much. If you're new to this, we continue to do this year after year. So we ain't going nowhere. Can't stop, won't stop, as some people would say. And it's been a hell of a year. Thank you for joining us for the Bears therapy session. And then as always, we do hope you're wrapping up this lovely year in the most incredible fashion. If you haven't yet, subscribe. If you haven't yet, shared. If you haven't yet, remind yourself about when we drop episodes. It's every Thursday, by the way. And then, of course, just share it to a brother, share it to a sister from another mister, or a brother from another mother. And then, as always, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know, jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know, catching vibes, we end this dance. Simple flow, and that's our sign to close the show.